Howdy ho, episode 6 of I Dare You to Love This. It's good to see you again. It's been a while. This episode is on judgment, the judgment of others, of you, their judgments, how it sometimes doesn't feel good. If you're the type that is analyzing oneself and wanting to get better, maybe you're trying to minimize your judgments of others, and that's cool. How I love the judgment of others. It's not easy. I think to some extent we're socially programmed, or like social acceptance is part of our programming in terms of survival. So we are concerned about the judgment of others, or of their judgment of us. But kind of a cool business concept that I've held on to for a while was this concept that in a partnership, a business partnership, if two people agree all the time, then one of them's not necessary. So it brings me to a bigger picture kind of belief that I hold, or way of looking at our life purpose. And it is such that we are all individual. We have the same kind of hardware and makeup, but in terms of our uniqueness, the really true thing that we can offer this planet is our own unique perspective. In many ways, if you take a really deep, long look at it, the only thing that you can truly offer the world that they can't and other people can't offer themselves is your own perspective. So, for me to desire other people to not judge me, or to judge me in a way that favors me or makes me feel good, in some way restricts their free will, which is a beautiful God-given gift or universe-given gift to all of us. And secondly, it's asking them to be a duplicate. It's asking them to forfeit their life purpose, which is too much to ask just to make me feel good for a little bit, or just to allow me to avoid feeling bad. So that's outward people judging me. And that's how I can love the judgment, because the judgment is their life purpose. It's our life purpose, to be able to see contrast, to be able to experience our expectation versus what's happening, to be able to experience what we see versus what we want, is part of what makes the expansion of the universe as glorious as it is. So I don't know if that makes sense. It's okay if it doesn't. But so that's the outward judgment, how to love it. It has that value. The expansion of the universe will be customized in a very unique way because of you, because of the judgments you've made and the actions you take accordingly, to change things, to make yourself and other things better, to change your environment. The other thing, the tricky thing is, a lot of times the anxiety we feel internally when someone judges us is not because of their judgment. It's because there's something inside of us that agrees with it. So the pain that we feel is a voice in our head that agrees with someone else's judgment of us. So to step back from it for a second, realize that if someone was to call you a name, they would call you a big blue monster or something ridiculous. Hey, you look like Barney. You're a big purple monster, a big dinosaur. It wouldn't make sense to you. You wouldn't feel offended by it, and you'd just like, no, I don't. And if they were really serious about it, And so you wouldn't really resist it. But if they say something like, hey, you're not smart, or hey, you're too fat, or you're not good looking, or whatever it is, if there's something inside of you that agrees with it, the anxiety you feel, in my opinion, is not what they've said to you. It's the thought you're having inside of your head being opposite of the truth. Just like my anxiety video, How to Love Anxiety. It's that same concept. So you've got to take a look at the internal judgment you might have on yourself if you want to feel otherwise. Now, one way of going about it is to, you can say, okay, the anxiety I feel is my own inner thought, and I need to just reverse it and know that the opposite is true in order to kind of relieve yourself of that anxiety. Or you can see that inner voice as someone else. You can know yourself to be spirit or love or God, and to know that you are also equipped with the contrast portion of your body, of your existence. The ego, people call it, or whatever it is, that makes those judgments, and it makes those judgments in order for you to, again, to have the effect on the universe that you were supposed to have based off of your judgments. So you might, rather than trying to go the opposite way of the pain, you might just choose to see that voice in your head that agrees as another person external from you, as someone else in the crowd. And rather than stifling that voice's opinion and trying to jam it into a box that better suits you, you can just love it and understand that it is part of your makeup. And remember that loving the judgment of all, whether it's your voice or other people's, is in essence a very, very loving thing you can do. You can basically allow people to have and exercise their free will, allow the voice in your head to exercise its free will to make judgments on things, and you allow it to have its life purpose or to fulfill its life purpose. So it's fairly complex, but to simplify, basically what I'm saying is I love the judgments of others, and I love my own personal inner judgments, because that's what we're here for. It's not to be mean necessarily, but we are in general designed to see the world the way we see it, and to want other people to change the way they see the world is kind of asking them to give up their life purpose and to forfeit their free will. And I'm not into that. So it's easy enough to just go the other way and just to appreciate it and to love the fact that they're adding that value to the universe, and the things that they like they'll get more of, and the things they don't like they'll work towards changing. And because of me, someone else's judgment of me will have some effect on the rest of the world, and I will know I have made an impact on this place when I've left. So pretty cool. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any questions or you want to add to that, or put it towards application. I know there's like bullying in school and stuff like that as a teenager. That might be an interesting conversation. So if you have any of that, throw it at me. Otherwise, appreciate your time. And in honor of this video and its concept, I hope that you don't simply adopt this viewpoint. I hope that you try it out for yourself, and if you do end up agreeing with some of the things, then I hope it's just because you're doing it for yourself and it serves you in some way, rather than just copying my perspective. So anyway, cool. Yeah, I love you. Have a good day.